Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell have been sharing the silver screen and a life together for many a year now.
Goldie. And I said, oh, I'm not changing my name.
Goldie Hawn was always more than a Hollywood star. With her sunshine smile, golden locks, and indelible charm, she became one of the most popular actresses of her era. From her breakthrough in Logan to her Academy Award win and dozens of hit films, Goldie constructed a career replete with laughter, love, and light. Off-screen, her life has been equally intriguing, from her affairs to her enduring relationship with Kurt Russell. But recently, devastating news shook her family to their core. And now, her husband's emotional response says it all. Come with us as we look at her story up close from the beginning and observe how her life is today. Early life and family origins. Goldie Hawn was born in Washington, D.C. Her mother, Laura, had a jewelry store and dance school, and her father, Edward Rutledge Horn, was a conductor and musician. He descended from German and English heritage and was a descendant of the youngest signer of the Declaration of Independence, Edward Rutledge. Goldie was named after the aunt of her mother. She was raised with her sister, Patty Horn, who became a publicist. The couple had one son, Edward Jr., but unfortunately died prior to Patty's birth. Goldie and Patty did not get to know him later in life. Her father practiced the Presbyterian religion, and her mother was Jewish, the daughter of Hungarian immigrants. Goldie was Jewish and grew up in Tacoma Park, Maryland, and went to Montgomery Blair High School in Silver Spring. She began ballet and tap dancing at the age of 3 and already appeared in Broadway's Nutcracker by 1955. In 1964, Juliet was played by her at the Virginia Shakespeare Festival, and she also instructed at her own ballet school. She had been studying drama at American University, but did not finish so that she could concentrate more on performing. She also began performing at the New York World's Fair in a can-can production. In 1965, she was professionally dancing in New York City and New Jersey. Her passion for performance soon brought her towards acting, and greater opportunities ensued. Breakthrough in the 1960s. In 1966, Goldie relocated to California to work at Melody Land Theater opposite Disneyland. She performed in productions such as Pal Joey and How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. She got her first acting break with the sitcom Good Morning World in 1967, where she was the girlfriend of a radio disc jockey. The character was scripted as a dumb blonde, and that same persona followed into her next great success. In 1968, she became a member of Rowan and Martin's Laugh. The comedy program established her as a household name. She gained fame for her high-pitched laughter, her bubbly character, and her bikini or painted appearances. Fans regarded her as one of the it girls of the late 1960s. Goldie's popularity on Logan eventually led to film offers. She first made a minor appearance in the only real genuine original family band in 1968. But her major breakthrough came a year later. In 1969, she appeared in Cactus Flower as the fiancée of Walter Matthau. The role earned her the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. She also appeared in The Spring Thing, a TV special with Bobby Gentry and Niall Harrison, in 1969. Shortly thereafter, she appeared in There's a Girl in My Soup and Butterflies Are Free. Within a few years, Goldie had transitioned from being a dancer to being an Oscar-winning actress. Her good humor charm won her over as a star, but her following decade would reveal she had a lot more to give. Stardom in the 1970s and 1980s. Goldie's career soared following her Oscar victory. She appeared in box office hit comedies such as There's a Girl in My Soup, Dollar and Butterflies Are Free. She also demonstrated she was capable of doing drama, with roles in The Girl from Petrovka and Steven Spielberg's The Sugarland Express. She then became a member of Shampoo's cast in 1975. Throughout the 1970s, Goldie constantly juggled family and work. She took a break for a while to attend to her marriage and son's birth, but again came in 1978 with the Goldie Hawn special featuring George Burns, Sean Cassidy, and John Ritter. The show received an Emmy nomination. Shortly thereafter, her movie Foul Play with Chevy Chase was a box office success and brought back her career. She even issued a country record in 1972 through Dolly Parton and Buck Owens' assistance. During the 1980s, Goldie continued her streak of hit comedies. She appeared in Private Benjamin in 1980, which she also co-produced. Nancy Myers, who co-wrote the screenplay, recalled Goldie's reaction. She giggled, and then she became really emotional, and her eyes would well up with tears. The part led to her second Academy Award nomination, this time for Best Actress. She had other movies in the decade, including Seems Like Old Times, Best Friends, Protocol, Swing Shift, and Wildcats. In 1985, she graced the cover of Playboy. She closed the decade with Overboard in 1987, starring with her boyfriend Kurt Russell. She was no longer a comedy icon by then. She had become a favorite of Hollywood. Later career, hiatus, and return. In 1990, Goldie appeared in Bird on a Wire with Mel Gibson. The critics were split, but the movie was successful at the box office. She thereafter appeared in Deceived, Crisscross, and The Black Comedy Death becomes her with Miles Streh and Bruce Willis. She also starred alongside Steve Martin in House Sitter, another box office success. But her personal life had a hiatus in 1992. Goldie took a 4-year break from acting to take care of her mother, who died in 1994. When she returned to acting, she starred in Something to Talk About and directed Hope in 1997. She also acted in The First Wives Club in 1996 with Diane Keaton and Bette Midler. The film was a huge success and featured their classic cover of You Don't Owe Me. She later teamed up with Steve Martin again for The Out Offtowners. In 1997, she and her fellow First Wives Club cast members were awarded the Women in Film Crystal Awards. By 1999, Harvard's Hasty Pudding made her Woman of the Year. Not all projects, however, panned out. Town and Country in 2001 was a massive flop despite its star-studded cast. She returned in 2002 strong with the Banger Sisters, starring Susan Sarandon and Jeffrey Rush. Goldie then left film for over a decade afterward. She authored her autobiography, A Lotus Grows in the Mud, in 2005. She then went back to television in 2013, guest starring in Phineas and Ferb. In 2017, she returned to film and stole with Amy Schumer. And then in 2018, she charmed audiences as Mrs. Claus in The Christmas Chronicles, and then came back once more for the sequel in 2020. Goldie's career spanned decades, showing that she was able to shine with every phase of her life. But in all of that, what is her personal life like? Well, prior to Goldie Hawn, when she became a household name, she already had some romance that offered a peek at her young heart. Early loves and first marriage. She went out with actor Mark Goddard and singer Spiro Venduris in her early years before fame transformed her life. Goldie got married in 1969 to Gus Trionis, a dancer who had been a Shark Gang member in West Side Story. They were wedded on May 16th, but the wedding did not last. By April 1973, the couple had broken up. Even after breaking up, Goldie didn't divorce him immediately. Instead, she got into new relationships, going out with stuntman Ted Grossman, Swedish actor Bruno, and Italian actor Franco Nero. Life appeared hectic. However, her legal bond to Trawan still remained. Finally, on New Year's Eve 1975, Goldie divorced him. By then, she was already committed to musician Bill Hudson of the Hudson Brothers, whom she had met the previous summer. Their romance started on a first-class flight from New York to Los Angeles, and the chemistry was strong enough to propel her towards a new beginning. The divorce from Trianon was finalized in June 1976, and barely a few weeks later, Goldie wed Hudson in Tacoma Park, her hometown in Maryland. But what seemed like a new beginning would soon be accompanied by difficulties. Family life with Bill Hudson. Goldie and Bill Hudson started their marriage on an upbeat note, and before long, they had a family of their own. Their first child, Oliver, was born on September 7th, 1976. Their daughter, Kate, was born 3 years later on April 19th, 1979. With 2 children and a hectic career, Goldie appeared to be juggling it all, but the marriage itself was suffering. By August 15th, 1980, Hudson had filed for divorce. The love affair of the couple was ending, but it had provided Goldie with 2 of the most significant individuals in her life. Post-split, Goldie continued to have new relationships. She was associated with French actor Yves Renier and Moroccan businessman Victor Dry. Nevertheless, the dissolution of her marriage to Hudson left its indelible mark. Their divorce was finalized in March of 1982. Although they had parted ways, the children they had would be the bridge to Goldie's future, particularly as life had soon introduced someone new into her life. That someone was Kurt Russell. But their tale began years earlier, meeting Kurt Russell in an unexpected first date. It was on the set of Disney's The One and Only Genuine Original Family Band in 1966 that Goldie and Kurt Russell first met. Goldie was 21 then, and Kurt was just 16. Long after, Goldie recalled the encounter vividly. "I was 21 and he was 16, and I thought he was cute, but he was far too young," she told People in 2012. They parted ways, and for years both acknowledged that they would never romance another actor. Destiny, however, has a way of catching people off guard. In 1983, the two reunited when Kurt auditioned for Swing Shift. Goldie was present to read with him, and not being in a very good shape, hung over as she was, Kurt seized his opportunity. His initial words to her were straightforward. "Man, you have a fantastic figure." Far from being offended, Goldie answered, "Why, thank you." That broke the ice,